Don't you hate it? You get a sample roll of filament. You know, it comes in a package somewhere like this. Then your filament becomes like this. Let's try to figure this out and come up with an idea. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again. My name is Ron from the Canadian Maker Project. And I've been coming up with a little bit of a problem with sample filaments becoming like this, a tangled mess. And it always happens, you know, everybody just says, oh, you just put on your roll and just let it fill out. Well, what if you're printing like a small benchy, or you're printing out something to test, like, I don't know, like this type of benchy, you know, and you use about maybe, you know, a couple inches. This is at 10% infill and weighs about 5 kilograms. It's not 5 kilograms, 5 grams. And then you take off your roll and you're trying to think, what else can I print? But you had something else that you had to take care of. So you had to take the sample roll off. And then when you go back to use it again, just a tangled mess. This is not good. Well, what can you do to help yourself out? Well, you try rolling it onto an old spool. Face it, you know, if you got tons of old spools around, then you're in luck. But what if there was like a roll that you could just roll it on? Because, I mean, we got maker boxes like Alien 3D now, and we have the maker box, and there's, who knows, there might be more boxes that I'm not aware of. What I was then thought to myself, if each of these kilos is about 30 to 50 grams, what if there was a spool that would work for that? Well, there actually is. On Thingiverse, there are these spools that are made for doing printing. Now, this one in particular is the one I like the most. Why? I'll show you right now. Because it's already threaded. Now, a lot of them are just clips. They just clip together. This one's actually threaded. So this is following more closer to the style that I actually like, which is the master spool idea, which is a screw-on rather than a clip. Because clips, they can break, and then you got to print them a certain way. It's just hard. But this is just basic, everyday, you know, print it out. The size of this is 150 millimeters wide, so you can print this on any bed that's that size. The build quality is excellent out of this. This is just white PLA, everyday standard PLA, 10% infill. I did it at 0.2 because 0.4 is just stringy. So the reason I like this one the most is there's an actual hole right on the roll itself. Now, I had to use a little screwdriver to help me fix this because the hole got clogged up by a filament. So you just take a little screwdriver, just poke it on through, and you'll see it stick out at the other end right there. So then you can fit your filament, whatever end you're going to fill into it, into the hole, and thread your filament across it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this into the hole. It takes a little bit of effort, but as you can see, there it is right there. Sorry. It doesn't show good on white and white, but yeah, you can see it in a second here as soon as I get it the right way. Doing this on camera by myself is tricky. What can I say, people? There it is right there. So it's in the hole and threaded properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this up and show you guys how easy this is. Now, granted, this may take me a little bit of time. So what we will do, we'll fast forward through this and we'll get this up as soon as possible. And then I'll come back and show you guys the wound up spool and we'll just go from there. Okay, so I just got the final roll put on there. It's rolled up nice and tight. Got the little end sticking out. Nice little thing here. There's a hole at every standoff, so you can actually put the thread. So you can thread it there and have it there. And as you can see right here, they're just sticking out right there. So after you get these rolled up, I usually like to tell you guys to usually, if you got a food dehydrator, aka a filament dryer, you can put this in a filament dryer, leave it for about maybe an hour at PLA temperature, which is 45. That just allows it to mend to the spool, and then let it sit for 24 hours before using it. Because if you unravel this right now, it's just going to go and you become a big mess. Here's one rule that I have done. This is right here. I had to look for it. So I put it back in the bag. It's a little on the loose side. It's not the nicest tied up round, but it's actually on here. This is the Filament Gold PLA. I'm probably going to have to throw this in the humidifier because it's a little bit wet. But, you know, now we're in the print dryer and it should be ready to go. And what I like about these, like I said, the spool is this, that you can actually put the filament in there, tie it back a little bit, and it won't pop out and it won't go like a yo-yo. This one did on me the first time I did it because I didn't leave it for 24 hours. But if you leave it for 24 hours, it should be okay. And then it should be perfectly usable. They roll off of it a lot easier. The filament just rolls. It's fairly simple for it to roll. They are built. The build quality of this one is actually really good. And I will have a link on the video and in the description. If you're interested in the food dehydrator, you probably saw a card pop up about it. It'll be over in this section right here. But, check that video out. It'll probably be at the end of this video. But guys, I just want to make a short little video talking about this, that, if you get a sample of PLA and you're like, well, I don't want it to get mixed up or roll up or anything like that, look at like these mini spools. They're great. And there's another one out there, but the reason I went with this one versus the other one is there's something called the Master Spool. Master Spool spindle. And the reason I didn't go with that one specifically is because there's no notch to tie the filament back that I liked. Now, granted, everybody has their own one that they might like. I'll put a link down in the description of the one I used. I will also put a link to the other spool that I was talking about and and then you guys can look at it yourself and make your decision which one you like. If you're okay without putting it on spindles, that's your choice. Me, I prefer a good spindle whenever I'm using filament. In the end, it's really up to you what you want to choose. But these are just my opinions. You don't have to go by them, but I like to hear you guys' opinions. If you guys got a little mini spool that you kind of like, post them in the comments below. Also, remember everybody to like, subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. And if you like the rest of my content, please click the like button, please subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a great day. And remember, keep on printing. Because that's what we do. Of course. Come on.